Oh shit. Hold on. I gotta get myself off the camera. Yo,
Yo, what's up, man?
what's up? What's up? What's up?
Shit, chilling, man. What's good with you?
Shit, man. Salute to Charlo, Undisputed.
That's what's up. Look here, man. Jermell Charlo has proven a lot of people on ESPN wrong. A lot of people on ESPN was riding off the Charlo. Salute to King
Salute,
Style
salute to King
Productions,
Styles.
man. This is what we talking about. As soon as y'all motherfuckers come and see King Style Productions, get it. When you say salute, super chat. When you say salute, cash app. When you say salute, make sure y'all drop that bread, man. That's what we talking about. Because we about to bring that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the necks, and we separating the weak from the fucking strong, man.
Exactly.
But Jermell Charlo, the motherfucker, shut a lot of people up. And I predicted it to the T. I did a YouTube shorts, where I said it was going to be a venomous viper late stoppage. That's exactly what the fuck happened. It was a venomous viper late stoppage because I knew Jermell Charlo. You could just sense the blood in the air. That's right, King Style Productions. Let these motherfuckers know. Donate to motivate, man. Donate to motivate. Jermell
Should we low
Charlo.
key? Should we low key? Might want to give him a wrench. Low key,
Yes.
King Styles.
Hey, look here, man. Say no more.
Derrick James is the best trainer in Boston. It's not even close. Exactly, should have been that trainer of the year.
Yep.
He should have
Jermell
been that
Charlo.
trainer of the year, man.
Jermell Charlo is where it's at, man. Nobody at 154 has done undisputed since Floyd Mayweather. And the reason why we say Floyd Mayweather was the last person that got undisputed.
Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed. He should have been undisputed, but boxing they never officially recognized him.
But do you know why I give it to him? You know why I give it to him? Because the boxing politics got in the fucking way. Because he beat the man that was the motherfucking man. And then politics came into equation and said, well, Floyd, you don't deserve this. So this is why it's monumental to see a brother not have politics step in the way and to actually get the undisputed and boxing get it done the right way. I'm going to tell you guys something, man. The sport of boxing is at its best climax right now. You want to know why the sport of boxing is at its best climax? Because the sport of boxing has returned to its original state. And what's that? All guys that look like me and Tom Ross are dominating the sport. When guys look like us are dominating the sport is at its best. It's at its finest. Because it has the finest of people that are dominating. Jaron Ennis, I give him a lot of shit. But Jaron Ennis, that motherfucker is black. Terence Crawford, I give him a lot of shit. The motherfucker's black. Now, they're not the upper echelon of what we call the black style fighting style because they do that flashy shit. I'm more into the, pyrotechnics. I'm more into the technical fundamental style of boxing. I'm more into that. That to me is what true skills is at. Floyd Mayweather mode, Errol Spence mode. I'm more into that kind of shit. But I'm still going to give my brothers props because at the end of the day, all the names that's running the sport of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis, Jermell Charlo, fucking Deontay Wilder could have been there too. But this motherfucker's hard-headed, stubborn motherfucker. Stubborn as a fucking bull. And look, he could have been right there enjoying the spoils, man. It could have been basically my top 5 could have been a sweep. Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo, Gervonta Davis, and Deontay Wilder. And if Deontay Wilder didn't lose, Deontay Wilder would probably been number 2. It would have been a full fucking sweep of PBC fighters that they sat here and said PBC ain't shit. Al Heyman is looking like a genius right now because 4 out of 5 of his boxers are dominating the fucking sport. Ross, what you got to say about this shit, man?
The only one that's not the only ones. Well, he didn't fall all the way off. He's number 2 pound. He's number 2 in the heavyweight rankings. But the only one that's not at the top is Wilder. But look at Wilder. He got a lot. Wilder is the only one who got all these white people around him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else keep it funky with their own people. Wilder got all these white people around him, and you see it's been a lot of funny shit with Wilder, man. It's been a lot of funny shit with his fights. I've been watching boxing for a long time. So if people don't want the truth, they should talk to me about it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna tell you, there's been nothing legit about any of the Deontay Wilder fights. I've been watching boxing for a long time. But at the same time, when you surround yourself by people who don't have your best interest, you're open for things like that to happen in your career, man.
Exactly.
You're open for that, man. But fuck all that. Let's get to Jermell Charlo. Even though he's done a lot of sellout shit. Always talking down on Floyd. Always talking down on his own brother. You gotta salute him, man. He came through. He got the Undisputed. I think he's the first Undisputed at 154 since I think Winky, right?
Yep. You got it right. Since Winky Wright.
It was Winky Wright, but he's the first 4-belt Undisputed. Because they used to always be 4. It used to be 3. They started making it 4 until Floyd came around. They started making it 4. Yeah, so at the end of the day, man, we gotta give credit to where it's due. We just have to, man. And we have to look at this situation. We have to look at the situation that it is, man. And the situation we're in right now is that we Black people need to realize that we gotta get our sources from people who look like us. We can't depend on the ESPNs. We can't depend on the Ring magazine. We can't depend on nobody else. Because all they do is either turn Black people against each other, or they always promote their own people and not keep it 100. And make sure everybody donate to motivate, man.
That's it.
Make sure everybody donate to motivate.
That's it. Donate to motivate, man. Listen, man. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant of boxing are back, man. We back. So we're going to give you guys the creme de la creme. We're going to give you guys the best of the best. We're going to give you guys how we make it shake. But y'all got to donate to motivate, man. Because y'all not going to get it raw. Y'all not going to get it with originality. Y'all not going to get it basically authentic and consistent the way that you're going to get it here on this fucking platform and on Tom Ross TV, Ross platform, man. But anyways, let's get back to this shit. He's right. Jermell Charlo is undisputed. We haven't seen undisputed since Winky Wright. And he's right about that. 4 belts
at 154.
3-belt dichotomy.
At 154.
At 154.
Yeah.
Super welterweight. This is huge. Jermell Charlo, I don't want to hear nothing negative about him, man. His career is solidified. Do you guys understand if Jermell Charlo don't do nothing else, he can always walk off and say that he's undisputed. We ain't talking about this bullshit 140 undisputed because there's levels to this shit. We're talking about welterweight, super welterweight. These types of weight classes, the undisputed holds a higher degree and a higher order. But yet you got the Terence Crawfords of the world that has been undisputed since when? 140, hasn't done shit at 147 other than just have a WBO, what Bob orders fucking belt. But he's number 1 on somebody's pound for pound list over Errol Spence, who has 3 fucking belts. I have a problem with that. A fundamental problem with that. Right. And how are they going to do the rankings? Are they going to put him over Jermell Charlo? If Spence and Charlo, or Charlo and Spence is not your number 1 and number 2 on a pound for pound list, we have a fucking problem. They're carrying the most belts.
And that's the thing. The pound for pound list need to go back to rationale, bro. They could have front on Floyd because Floyd was the money man in the sport and Floyd was undefeated. They could have front on him even though they wanted to. But trust me, they wanted to. If Floyd would have ever lost, he would have dropped out of the rankings. But this shit right here, it has to go back to rationale. Rationale says the pound for pound list is an ever updating list. It's not what you did in your whole career. It's what you're doing right now. The people like to bring up, shit people did at other weight classes. If you was the man at another weight class and you in the current weight class and you're not the man no more, you're not in the top pound for pound.
Yep.
You can't be top pound for pound. You're not even the best in your own weight class.
Yep.
So the way I'm looking, I don't put light heavyweights, cruiserweights, or heavyweights in my pound for pound. The way I'm looking at it is, you gotta have Okay, I'll make a decision. Jermell Charlo, number 1. He just because he got undisputed.
Yep.
Errol Spence, number 2.
Yep.
Now, after you get that, you gotta go. You gotta go either Kambosos or Taylor 3 and 4 because they both undisputed. Well, Kambosos no Taylor 3, Kambosos 4. Kambosos ain't undisputed yet. He got to fight. He got to see if he can beat Devin Haney to be undisputed. But he got 3 belts. And then the 5th, I don't know who the fuck can we put at the 5th. Who can we put at the 5th? Tank. You can put Tank at the 5th. That's the top 5. You know what I'm saying? Because hardware matter. Do I think Tank could beat Kambosos? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, Tank don't have that hardware. That matters, man. You got to be for your people, but you can't be super biased because we can't do what we don't want them doing to us.
Jordan, right? 6 times Bishop, salute. The post-Floyd Mayweather era is in good hands with Errol Spence, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Jermell Charlo. My bad, Ross, but a super chat came in, so we gotta
do that. You gotta do that. And I probably was beating a dead horse. But what I'm saying is, even though we would like to see a whole top 5 all black people, you can't just say Kambosos ain't doing shit. You can't say Josh Taylor ain't doing shit. You just can't do it. They sit here with hardware. You gotta show them they respect.
Yep.
And they haven't popped no piss us.
Yep.
So you can't say they've been cheating.
Yep.
So you gotta show them respect.
And like Ross said, man, he's been saying this live in and live out. Y'all motherfuckers know what the live is about. No, to be talking about other sports and other fucking topics. Stick to the topic at hand, man. We talking boxing. If y'all motherfuckers want to go and focus on basketball, go focus your basketball and your rabbit ass up out of this damn live. We talking boxing. Let's focus on boxing. But yeah, man, Jermell Charlo, he does a lot of sucker shit. And the thing with twins, because I have multiple twins in my family, and I'm sure, Ross, you know this very well about fucking twins. A lot of people know this shit about twins, man. Twins have this symbiotic relationship. I've said this years in and years out, man. If they don't get the equal amount of fair share or equal amount of love, they start fucking hating on each other, man. That's just the way that shit roll. And their relationship, truth be told, quite frankly, is so organic, man. And the reason why I say that is because they wear their feelings on their sleeves. They let you know what they're thinking at that moment. They don't care if they're in private or in public. It's just something about the way that they operate is, to me, is more authentic than a lot of these fake motherfuckers that's out here. You got a lot of fake and fickle motherfuckers that can't do what twins do, man. Twins will sit there and tell you if they're feeling wrong about something, you will know their feelings. They could be wrong as shit, but you will know their fucking feelings about something. I don't like the sucker shit, but I appreciate the fact that he's always organic in his personality. And what I like about Jermell Charlo is he always, before it gets too bad to the point to where there's no coming back, he always turns that corner. And one thing that I also know with twins is when it's all said and done, they'll have each other's back before anybody else when it's all said and done. The reason why he won the fight had nothing to do with his performance. It had something to do with actually his non-performance. If he didn't do this before the fight, he would have lost. He basically gave props to Jermell Charlo in an interview right before the fight saying, my brother has been fighting since 8 years old. My brother is a bull. My brother is a dog. My brother is part of the one half of Lions Only. And why is Canelo Alvarez and their team ducking my brother? Why are they sitting here and not fighting my brother? By him saying that, what he did was he activated blessings up to the heavens to the man above. So the man above, like, okay, you got your brother's back. You your brother's keeper. I'm going to hand you this delivery. I'm going to hand you this victory. If you notice in the last fight, he was talking shit about his brother. And what ended up happening? He got a controversial split fucking draw right before the fucking fight. He threw that bad juju out there, and that bad juju came back to fuck his ass up. This time around, he learned from his fucking mistakes. He gave his brother props. And when he did that, the good juju came his way, and hence the fucking victory. Jermell Charlo has, how should I say this? He has gaps in his emotionality. He has gaps in his maturity level. But, I mean, all of us have that shit, man. Ain't none of us perfect, dog. He who is without sin be the first to throw the fucking stone. Motherfuckers, all of us are kind of fucked up in a way. But I'm going to be honest with you, Ross. A brother got the fucking belts. A brother is undisputed. And you know how we roll over here, man. It's our people before everybody else, man. And I'm happy. I'm thrilled. Because at the end of the day, you see what me and Ross did? We gave our brother his credit, even though we knew he was on some sucker shit. Because he did something phenomenal. And he deserves the fucking credit, man. He deserves that shit.
Everybody, make sure y'all donate to motivate, man. Make sure y'all donate to motivate, bro. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we gotta get on these so-called boxing journalists who are asking Errol Spence about Canelo when they need to be asking Canelo about Jermell Charlo.
Exactly.
You know Errol Spence has an undisputed fight coming up. Why are you bringing up Canelo? Why they make it easy for Canelo to duck? Because they recommend fights that are easy for him.
Yep.
This is why I hate about black people. We're so hard on each other, but we don't hold nobody else's feet to the fire. Floyd Mayweather's whole career, they were downplaying the greatness he was doing. His whole career.
Yep.
If he was 1 pound over than somebody, they'll say, man, why you fight the smaller man?
Exactly.
But some people could come in the Floyd Mayweather fight 20 pounds heavier than him. They'll never say Floyd was a smaller man. We have to start holding people to the fucking fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
Valdez, Canelo, Castano, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko all got exposed. Floyd, Manny Pacquiao all got exposed.
Yep.
And these are the people they were promoting.
Yep. Why? And most of these motherfuckers are Mexican, dog. Whoosh.
Why are they promoting them and not promoting black fighters ever?
Mm-hmm.
Man, he might put Canelo on his knees, but we don't want to see that fight. Canelo needs to fight people
don't want to see
at 160 and 168.
Listen, man, Jermell Charlo is the first in line. Jermell Charlo needs to bull fucking those Canelo Alvarez, man. I'm pushing that shit like nobody's business. Because Canelo's next fight needs to be Jermell Charlo. This is what Canelo needs to do to gain respect back. Like my boy King Style Productions say, donate to motivate. Donate to motherfucking motivate. This is what Canelo needs to do. And I think Ross is going to agree. Canelo has ducked so much. Canelo has played the fiddle so much. His next 3 fights back to back, in order for him to establish respect, we don't care if he gets put on the fucking canvas the next 3 fights. His next 3 fights needs to be this order: Jermell Charlo, then Demetrius Andrade, then David Benavidez. He fights those 3 straight fights. Then we could turn around and say, you know what? Even when that motherfucker get put on the canvas all 3 fights, we're going to give him his credit. We're going to say, you know what? He's earned his accreditation as a boxer.
He would never be an all-time great because he's a PED cheat, but I'll give him respect as a warrior that they call him. I'll say then I'll say, you know what, he a Mexican warrior. But until then he ain't a Mexican warrior.
Exactly. He will not be on no GOAT material. He will not be considered the greats of the greats, because like we've told you guys, he was smoking mirrors. He's already been exposed by the black slickster style. He's already been exposed by the European style. It's just now he needs to showcase that he is a Mexican, meaning have that warrior, Aztec warrior spirit. And in Aztec warrior form, he needs to prove that he can take on these fights. We don't care if he's coming in with the ilky fucking body. We don't care if he's coming in with the bullshit Mexican physiology on the white side. We just want to see that motherfucker come in and say, I am a warrior and I can fight. And even if he gets ramalanged, even if he gets done the fuck up, we don't give a fuck. We can now say Canelo Alvarez is a warrior. This is what we can actually say now. We can give him warrior credit. But we can't even give him that now. And you know what's funny? Errol Spence don't even want the Canelo Alvarez fight no more. This how you know when somebody's a cash cow.
Well, he don't want it over the fucking Crawford fight.
No, I'm gonna tell you what he said.
Yeah,
because Spence is dirty, dog. Yeah. Of course, it's not gonna be over the Crawford fight. But let me tell you what he said.
He'll take the fight if there was no Crawford fight available, but Crawford's available.
Canelo has something to offer. This is how you know when you're dealing with guys at that level. This is why I told everybody Canelo lost big time when he lost. Because when you get to a certain level in boxing, from a cachet standpoint, you lose that, it's like you're not the same. The reason why Errol Spence was entertaining a Canelo fight is because Errol Spence had so much to gain from fighting Canelo. Canelo has belts. Canelo has notoriety. Canelo has cachet. Well, you lose to Bivol. You lose all of that. So you know what Errol Spence said? I'm Moby Dick. They asked him, what about Canelo? Canelo has nothing to offer. So why should I fight him? Spence wasn't saying that before. But you wanted to have a cash weight with him at 160. He has nothing to offer. See, this is what y'all got to understand. Canelo is exposed. And Spence understands that dynamic. He understands that. Floyd understood that. When you at that level, that pinnacle, you got to do everything in your power to keep that pinnacle. Because once you lose the fucking pinnacle, that's it. That's why Floyd, throughout all of the traction, all the polarization, that motherfucker made sure he always came in and trained like it was his first day fighting, because he wanted to make sure that he didn't lose that fucking cachet. Salute to OG Flash. Finally caught y'all live. Canelo is the new white hope. Keep cooking. Man, let me tell you something right now. Canelo's been the white hope. He's been the white hope above all white hopes. What you got to say, Ross?
Man, first of all, shout out to OG Flash, man. It says a lot about a dude that comes in and shows support to the channel right away. It says a lot about that, man. Number two, Canelo has been the white hope ever since when he came out. They said he doesn't even look at Mexican. He looks Scottish.
Yep.
They were grooming you right then and there to see Canelo as a white man. So anything he did, they're going to take credit for it. It's the reason why these white people are so invested in Canelo and fucking Triple G and Lomachenko. These motherfuckers not even good like that.
Yep.
People crying Lomachenko. I never Lomachenko high tech. How he likes it high tech. He stay getting his ass. He stay getting beat up in his fights. Even the fights he win, he be getting touched. You know what I'm saying? Triple G wasn't fighting nobody. When he started fighting people, he started getting touched.
Yep.
But it's because these motherfuckers are white, man.
Exactly.
That's the reason why.
Yep.
That's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? They would rather anybody before they big up a black motherfucker. Anybody. And here's the thing about somebody brought up Munguia. Here's the thing about Munguia. Munguia is a disrespect to Mexican boxing.
Yep.
He had a title shot with Demetrius Andrade. How you turn down a mandatory title shot?
He didn't want to get embarrassed.
You ain't done nothing in you haven't done nothing in your career. What real fighter turns down a title shot?
Bruh, these Mexican fighters are seeing the writing on the wall. They know when they got to fight up against elite black competition, they get washed. This is what we try to tell motherfuckers. Black elite fighters are the greatest fighters ever, because when they fight you, they wash you. You saw this with Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. A wash.
The creme de la creme.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? The creme de la creme. Like Master Randy Savage said, I'm the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
They know that black fighters are the cream of the crop, man.
Yep.
So they do anything not to fight them. How are you, Munguia, who have not proven anything in your career, turning down a title shot?
The motherfucker already punch drunk before punch drunk, dog. So
and nobody's saying nothing about this. ESPN not saying nothing about it. Another black fighter duck another black fighter. They're gonna be, oh, he's ducking. He don't want to fight nobody.
Yep.
Nobody's saying nothing because this dude's Mexican, man.
Yep. And you notice when they were pushing that Benavidez shit, me and Ross was smart. We detoured you motherfuckers right back to Jermell Charlo and Demetrius Andrade basically being ducked by Canelo. This is what they like to do with black fighters. They always like to put a fucking barrier, a barricade in front of them. just so that they could stay away from the actual fight. David Benavidez just started showing up the last few years in the mix. The mix has been Canelo, it's been Andrade, and it's been the Charlos. That's been the mix for years in and years out. So all of a sudden, David Benavidez shows up just for a few years, and y'all want to say, well, Charlo's ducking Bennett. That's the most casual shit I've fucking heard. First and foremost, Benavidez at 168, Charlo's at 160. Stop the bullshit smokescreen. Y'all want this motherfucker to go up to 168, a weight class he's never fought. Oh, he's daring to be great. See, this is what I try to tell you about these fickle as fuck, limited as fuck, non-knowledge boxing fans. They don't know shit about the sport. How you want a guy that's continuously fighting at 160 to go up to 168? The shit don't make sense. I think there was a guy, a genius by the name of Ross that said, I think there was a guy by the name of Tom Ross that was a genius that said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? This shit don't make fucking sense. What you got to say, Ross?
Well, people don't realize there's a word called negotiations. You have to look that up. Canelo gives an offer. That don't mean you got to take it. It's called negotiation. You can say, I got a counter offer. Or you can say, you know what? I don't want to do a rehydration clause. I don't want to do a catch weight. Take that out the contract. Canelo tried to slide Jermell Charlo a contract saying he got to do a rehydration clause. So Canelo didn't want to fight Jermell Charlo.
Yep.
At an even plane. He wanted an advantage. That was not an offer in good faith. That's what Mexicans always do. Mexicans stuck the dick out of they stuck the white man's dick.
Yep.
They go above and beyond for white people. Then when it comes to black people, you try to undercut us and do dirty business with us.
Yep.
No, we're not accepting that. You're not gonna give us you're not gonna give us a contract that puts us at a detriment. We're supposed to be on an even playing field. You want to fight at 160, which means you got to deal with the rehydration. You can't say, I want a rehydration clause. We had the same weight class. That's why the fight didn't happen. In business, say me and he knows we did a business deal to do these lives together.
Yep.
And it wasn't no shit that just happened like that. We had to talk about it.
Yep.
We went back. We went forth. We went up. We went down.
Yep.
There was no animosity. We had to find something that worked for both of us.
Yep.
To accept the first deal means to say you don't know anything about business.
Exactly.
You don't accept nobody's first deal. They ain't gonna respect you after that. Even if they love you, they gonna say, "Oh, this motherfucker easy work."
Yep.
He easy work. I could get this nigga anything. He easy work. You know what I'm saying? It's human nature to try to take advantage of shit you could take advantage of.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he turned down. It was a nice offer money-wise. It wasn't a nice offer boxing-wise. He was basically going to be paid to lose.
Yep.
It was like Danny Jacobs' fight. Canelo wanted Danny Jacobs right after he had cancer surgery. Like 6 months later. Danny wanted Danny Jacobs to not hydrate.
Yep.
You could fight. So get this straight. You can fight other motherfuckers at 175, but you can't fight people at 160 with regular rehydration?
Yep.
Do y'all realize what's going on here? Or you got in your mind he Mexican, so you gotta ride with him no matter what?
Yep.
This reason I don't respect Mexicans because y'all take away logic and you just be like, this is for my people, fuck logic. No, we're gonna do logic here. Canelo will fight somebody at 175. And they rehydrate all the way up to 200 pounds. He'll fight somebody at 175. No rehydration.
Yep.
But when it comes to people at 160 that are black fighters, he said they only can weigh this amount.
Yep.
That's what you call cheating, man.
Yep.
So Jermell Charlo turned that shit down like, nah, yeah, you trying to pay me to lose.
Yep.
You want me to be at a disadvantage.
Yep.
And that's the problem. That's the problem right there, man. Y'all motherfuckers don't care how y'all win as long as y'all win. And that's what like you always would be behind as a people.
Yep.
Because you don't hold each other accountable. You suck white man dick, even
Woo!
though the Spaniards came over there and took over y'all country.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why y'all like now and damn near look white is because white people came and raped y'all women. Y'all steady worship them.
Yep.
And you hate black people for no fucking reason, and you make excuses for why you could cheat black people. No more. That shit's over with.
It's done, over with. And Sergey Kovalev, that's why Sergey Kovalev admitted that he threw the fucking fight. Y'all didn't understand that. Now y'all had to see the Bivol fight to understand that. That's why Sergey Kovalev was laughing and celebrating when they showed him from his home when Bivol beat up Canelo Alvarez with the Soviet Union fucking style. Because at the end of the day, that's what Sergey Kovalev was going to do, but at even a more brutalizing level if he was able to establish a jab. If you go look at the first half of that fight, when Sergey Kovalev actually did use his jab in little moments, Canelo was already hitting the ropes. Canelo don't belong at 175. His body can't bang with the 175 pounders. That's what Bivol was letting him know. And you know, Bivol said at the end of that fight, he said, "This is not a great victory. I fought a guy that was smaller than me. Y'all sitting here making this shit great. This shit not great for me. This is just another fucking fight."
He said, "I was supposed to beat him, man." But here's the problem with Mexicans. Mexicans always talk shit about black people. As soon as a black person tells the truth about how Mexicans, they start talking about races.
Exactly.
If at the most, I'm prejudiced.
Mm-hmm.
At the most. But I ain't even that. I got a sister that's Mexican. So I ain't even prejudiced. I'm telling you the fucking truth about y'all people, man.
Yep.
Y'all sit here, y'all kiss white people ass.
Yep.
Say I'm lying. The average Mexican kiss white people ass.
They suck all
y'all
the
worship white people. Y'all think y'all better than black people, but y'all fucking not.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all even hide the black Mexicans in y'all country. Y'all hide them. Because you don't want people to know that y'all really black people.
Yep.
Spaniards came over there and made y'all like. Y'all really like the Mexicans y'all hide. That's really Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mexicans be fucking hating on black people.
Yep.
All the time, man. And I'm tired of it. I'm speaking up about it. I'm tired of the shit because black people don't even go out our way to hate on Mexicans. We just say the truth.
Teach.
Y'all the ones that stay sucking a white man dick. Stay hating on black people. And then as soon as a black person say the real about y'all want to cry this. I can't control your money. I can't control how you live. I'm not racist. Racist people can control the money you make that come in your house. They can control your happiness, your pursuit of happiness. That's racism. When I'm stopping you from feeding your family, that's racism. When I'm stopping people just because they Mexican, I won't hire you because you Mexican, that's racism. If I tell you I think you're a fucking prejudiced piece of shit, that's not racism. That's me telling you the truth. That's two different things, man.
Yep.
That's two different things.
And I'm
the
glad
fact that you don't know that is the fact that you don't know that is fact. Put it this way: the people keeping Mexican little children in cages, those are the racist people. The white people who doing that to y'all, they racist. Black people will never do that shit to Mexicans.
A lot of people don't know the difference.
We know how I feel to be in cages.
Yep.
So we will never do that to y'all. What I'm saying to you, at the most, could be clarified as prejudice. At the most. It's not racist. We need to get a dictionary and know how to fucking read.
And they don't know the difference between the two. They don't know the difference between racism and prejudice. I mean, they just don't. And here's the thing that gets me. Once their guy got exposed, Canelo was your last stand. He was the last stand. Like, you know, you have a podcast called The Last Stand Podcast. He was the last fucking stand. And guess what? Y'all don't have him anymore. And you know what you're seeing? You're seeing the vitriol from Mexican fans because they had Canelo that they could always say, well, you see Canelo, he's the cachet, he's the guy. They don't have that no more. They can't say that no more. And they're feeling some type of way. And that's why you see, like Canelo Alvarez, they're showcasing they're bitter as fuck, insecure as fuck, miserable as fuck as you know what in their lives, personality traits. Canelo Alvarez is the quintessential version of what Mexican people are. They make excuses when they win a certain way. They find loopholes around situations when they want to justify something. And they basically find ways to say, well, we won in this fashion. We won in this way. So because we won in this fashion, in this way, it should be credible. It should be acceptable. This is what they do. And they do this continuously. And they do it as if it's a thing that's a recurring thing in their mindset. This is why it's flawed. Canelo Alvarez revealed the exact versions of the way a lot of Mexican people think, especially of Mexican community fan bases. He revealed it. That's why they supported him so much, because they were supporting their own personalities. You guys have to understand, when you see people galvanize behind someone, is because they're galvanizing behind that person that supports their ideologies, their ways of doing things, their ways of seeing things. We told you Canelo was going to get exposed. Honestly, I love this exposure better than if it came from Jermell Charlo, because that's expected. Demetrius Andrade's expected. I'm disappointed that it didn't happen to them. I would prefer my brothers to do the exposure, but I'm happier that it came from Dimitri Bivol. Want to know why? Because Canelo thought that he could keep finessing this. I'm going to fight at 175 away from the guys that I should actually be fighting, and I'm going to just keep winning these fights. And I'm going to keep trying to get credit for winning at a higher weight class, so it looks like I'm fighting harder competition.
Fighting against nobody.
Ooh. And that shit backfired, Ross. That shit backfired like a motherfucker, man.
Fighting against nobody. The problem is people, you're not holding your countrymen accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know the Mexican fan base don't care just as long as Canelo wins.
Yep.
When Canelo fought Rocky Fielding, the whole Mexican fan base was supposed to go up in the uproar. Like, why the fuck are you fighting him?
Exactly.
Why? Why would you bring up Amir Khan?
Yep.
Up 2 weight classes to fight him.
And 1 pound.
For what?
2 weight classes and 1 pound.
When you can fight Charlo. You can fight Charlo. You can fight Andre. Why are you fighting Amir Khan?
At a catch weight.
For what?
You respected Amir Khan that much that you did two weight classes in a pound? Damn.
That's the reason why they
really
call
be overrated.
People don't understand. Everything, the meaning is in the name.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning be in the name. It's the reason why they call it a catch weight.
Yep.
All these weight classes solidified. But you want to fight in a catch weight because you want to catch a motherfucker slipping.
Exactly. Whoosh. That was
you
so
want to catch a you want to catch a motherfucker slipping. Mm-hmm. You want to catch somebody at a disadvantage.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep.
Here's the problem. That argument would work if Canelo wasn't 3 belts away from being undisputed already.
Exactly.
Canelo's 3 belts. Canelo's 1 belt away from being undisputed and ducked everybody.
Yep.
This is the reason why people say Canelo ducked. Because there was no reason for Charlo to fight Andre, because all Canelo had to do was fight Andre for undisputed, and he ducked. So since he didn't fight Andre, guess what? The WBC said, "Oh, if you don't fight Andre, then you got to fight Charlo." Canelo ducked Charlo and vacated the belt.
And then he ended up getting that French fry. I bet you Canelo behind the scenes was already talking to Mauricio Solomon on how can I find a permanent status. I guarantee that WBC franchise belt, Ross. Right. It smells like Canelo was cooking something behind the scenes to duck.
They made that shit specifically for him. And I got one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't fight Andre, so his mandatory WBC came into play, and he ducked that and vacated the belt. That's how Charlo became champion. Then he didn't want to fight Triple G again.
Yep.
So he ducked once again.
Yep.
And he dropped the IBF belt. That's how Triple G and Derevchenko had a fight.
Yep. Because he was ducking both those guys.
Because you were ducking everybody at 160. He didn't want to fight nobody.
Exactly.
You got to hold your people accountable. So, yeah, they should. Now, at this point, if Charlo can't get a Canelo fight, he do need to fight Andre. I'll give you that. But the last 10 years, that was all on Charlo. And we ain't going to do that. Canelo been ducking Charlo since 154, man.
Yep.
Canelo is a fucking coward. He's a coward, and he's a disgrace to boxing. He's not a real champion.
He is.
He's not a real champion.
And everyone that supported Canelo, they went down the ship with him. You know, like the movie Titanic, and the ship went down. Everybody that supported Canelo, like the movie Titanic, went down with the fucking ship, man. There was only a few people that basically made it, and the ones that made it, you want to know why? Is because they came to the truth and they admitted the errors of their ways and said, you know what, I was a Canelo fan, and I just erred away from things concerning the boxing truths. But now I've seen the light. Canelo's overrated. I see some Mexicans are saying that, and I'm giving them credit. Yeah, I fell for that Canelo tea. I fell for his Kool-Aid, but I'm gonna be honest. Canelo's overrated. Canelo goes by Dimitri Bivol was the best thing that happened to the sport of boxing.
Even Mexicans know Canelo's overrated.
Yep.
But they standing next to him just because he's Mexican. Yep. Even Mexicans know he's overrated. Whenever you say somebody used your best fighter as a cherry pick, you're saying your best fighter was never like that.
Exactly.
You saying he was trash. When you say, oh, even though Floyd was 13 years older than Canelo, that was a cherry pick because Canelo was too young.
Yep.
Nowhere in boxing history as a young lion lost to an old lion if he was really great.
Yep.
That don't happen. If you really a great fighter, you don't lose to no old lion.
Nope.
You just don't. Because if you reverse the ages, and if Floyd was 23 and Canelo was 36, Floyd would have put Canelo ass in the hospital, man.
Yep.
You could believe that.
Out on the stretcher.
You could believe that. I put that on everything.
Yep.
Floyd would have put Canelo ass in the hospital if he was 23 years old and Canelo was 36.
Canelo would have been pissing Amber.
That motherfucker would have been late. He had to carry his ass out of there, man.
Yep.
Like they had to walk Arturo Gatti to the ring. He didn't know where the fuck he was at. That shit would happen to Canelo, man.
That's why Floyd said
because Canelo ain't nowhere near the box Arturo Gatti was.
Yep. And that's why he said Canelo was easy work. Easy. You gotta understand when the way that Floyd emphasized that shit. There you go. Just like Ross did it. He emphasized easy work because Floyd was like, I fought this nigga towards the back end. Imagine if I fought him when I still had my legs and my elusiveness. Oh man, it would have been over. Like I would have completely dismantled him.
He still had his power because he was elusive enough.
Yep.
Imagine he would have fought Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather Jr. At one, because whatever fuck Canelo was fighting at. Do y'all know this? Do y'all know Canelo rarely fought at 154, even though he was at 154?
Exactly.
He was always fighting at 153 and a half, 153, 152. And then when he fought Floyd, he wanted all of a sudden want to fight at the right weight class. Canelo was something else, man.
Yep.
If he would have fought a young Floyd at 154, they had to carry Canelo ass out of there, man.
The chickens have come to roost, man. The chickens have come to roost, bro.
I'm tired of this shit. Y'all don't even know what racism is, man. Black people can't be racist and Mexicans. We don't control shit when it comes to Mexicans, man.
Yep.
We can't stop y'all. Racism is stopping you from living your life, man. For providing for your family, for being able to have a political voice, right? For keeping your kids from going to the right schools.
Yep.
Coming to your community, taking all your jobs. Black people can't do that to y'all. That's not racism. Is way bigger than somebody being rude to you. If anything, you can say, Tom Ross, you know what? You rude, man. I don't like the shit you said. You rude to me. You need to apologize. You can't sound racist, man. Exactly. I ain't never did nothing wrong with no Mexican, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all either. Man. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you Canelo is great when he's not. Canelo's a PED cheat, bro.
There you go.
And you need to understand that shit. It's a difference between Canelo and Juan Manuel Marquez. If y'all pay attention, that's how I know y'all. They don't accept certain Mexicans. That's the problem.
They don't.
Some Mexicans they accept, some they don't.
Yeah, they don't even accept David Benavidez.
We show love to David Benavidez.
Yep. When have you seen Mexican boxing community fan base get behind David Benavidez as a whole? They only do that when they're trying to get after Charlo or after Demetrius. Oh, he ducked. But they don't do that with Canelo. They don't keep that same energy
because he look black. That's the problem. Because he look like a real Mexican. You look like the Olmecs, the nigga that was there from the beginning.
Facts.
That's the problem. Y'all don't accept David Benavidez. So when we like David Benavidez, y'all be like, basically, they just like one of their black people. Y'all look at David Benavidez as a black man. That's the reason why y'all don't accept that.
Yep.
Y'all don't accept the fact that we cool with Juan Manuel Marquez.
Yep.
Y'all like the light, man. Y'all got a problem because we don't like Canelo because y'all believe Jesus Cristo was Blanco, but he wasn't.
Yep.
He was as negro.
That's it.
If you read the fucking Bible, you'll know that.
Yep.
Y'all still think Jesus Christ was white, so y'all worship white people.
I caught you when you said it in Spanish, though. I caught you when you said that shit, but I know you had to say it in English for people that don't understand Spanish.
Right, that's their problem. And you think we supposed to worship white people too?
Yep.
We don't. Some of us do. We got some other times to do, but the real black man, we don't. That's our problem. No, the fuck y'all don't. Y'all don't like David Benavidez. Y'all don't get behind David Benavidez.
Y'all now getting behind supposedly David Benavidez because Canelo got exposed. We know how y'all roll, man. Y'all go down the line.
Yeah, the black community.
The black community been pushing Canelo. Let's be honest here.
The black community been the community that's been behind David Benavidez saying he could box. No Mexican channel was coming out saying David Benavidez. Name me a Mexican YouTube channel that was saying David Benavidez.
All of y'all Mexicans, you know what y'all was saying? David Benavidez got no defense. And that's what they were saying. They said that shit last week on our live. He ain't got no defense. Canelo was just one shot to the body, one shot to the head. Canelo will expose him. That's what y'all was saying. Now all of a sudden, we getting behind David Benavidez. Man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah, stop it, man. Stop all that shit, man. At the
we
end
see
of the
right
day,
through the smoke and mirrors, man.
At the end of the day, y'all don't like truth, bro.
Yep.
You get emotional when you hear something you don't like.
Yep.
Instead of being a man and saying, you know what? This black motherfucker on this YouTube telling the truth, man.
Yep.
You'll say somebody being racist. I can't affect your life. Oh, I ain't never met you.
Exactly.
Being racist means I could come on your job and fire you just because you Mexican.
Exactly.
That's racism.
Yep.
That's racism.
Yep.
Or I can say, you know what, man? As long as I'm manager here, I ain't hiring no Mexicans. That's racism, man. Racism ain't a difference of opinion you don't like.
Yep.
Grab your balls.
And you know David Benavidez is going to have a crowd behind him now. You want to know why? Because Canelo got exposed. Let's keep it a buck. If Canelo didn't get exposed, there would be no crowd behind him.
There would never be jumping behind Benavidez. Because y'all don't fuck with Benavidez. Y'all fuck with Neary.
Yep.
Y'all fuck with Neary. Who else y'all fuck with, man?
Y'all keep going down the line, man. They also don't fuck with. Let's just leave the Mexican alone and let's talk about Hispanic fighters as a whole. They don't fuck with Cuban fighters, especially the darker Cuban fighters.
Nobody with black blood.
They don't fuck with Errol Spence. They ain't fuck with what was his name? King Kong, the motherfucker that was that fought Wilder twice. Luis Ortiz. They don't fuck with him.
Ortiz?
Y'all don't fuck with no motherfuckers, man.
That look like the original man. Y'all only fuck with the Mexicans that look white, man.
Yep.
Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it.
Let's keep it 100.
That's why y'all go with the Ryan Garcias of the world. Y'all go with the Canelo Alvarez of the world. The only reason why y'all was fucking with Teofimo Lopez is because Teofimo Lopez was running his mouth. Y'all didn't even give two shits about him before he was running his mouth too. There was a long time Teofimo Lopez was out there. He wasn't running his mouth. He was kind of more of a quiet boxer. Y'all ain't pay attention to him. But once he started running his mouth about black fighters, then y'all started saying, "Oh, okay, Teofimo."
This motherfucker said Floyd never fought Beaver, so he a duck. Beaver 175 pounds, man. Floyd started boxing at 126.
A Bevo style, a European style. Ross.
No, he's talking about basically Floyd never fought nobody that big. He's not supposed to.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Ross. Last time I checked, Ricky Hatton, where in the geographic region is he from?
He's not saying that, man. Yeah. He's just dude. Gotta understand. These people just when they start talking about Floyd, they're getting their emotions. They don't.
I know the specifics on what he's saying, but I'm making a bigger picture point here. Isn't Ricky Hatton European?
Yeah.
Okay, so Floyd already fought a European style. Shut the fuck up. That's all I wanted to say with that.
Yeah. You gave that comment too much dignity. There's no dignity. There's no intelligence in that comment. That comment was just to hate on Floyd, and it makes no sense.
Stupid motherfucker.
Floyd beat many European guys, number one.
Yep.
Because I forgot he fought where in the Olympics. Then number two, he was fighting against a grown ass man. He was 18 years old. Then number two, Floyd not supposed to fight nobody at 175.
Exactly.
Canelo ain't supposed to fight nobody at 175. He's not bigger than Floyd. Canelo is barely a bigger man than Floyd Mayweather is.
Yeah.
Canelo only 5'7". That's what y'all not understanding. He's not a big dude.
Yep.
he put on all that weight and all that muscle, so he don't got to fight people at 160.
Exactly.
Canelo 5'7", talking about he can't make 160. Why the fuck can't you?
Exactly.
That's the average weight for somebody that's 5'7", 5'8".
It's because he's ducking. He's ducking.
You ducking. You don't want no smoke. That's the problem.
That's it.
Because if Floyd Mayweather came back and Floyd Mayweather said, I want to fight Canelo at 160, he'll make 160.
He'll make 160.
He'll make it.
He'll make it. That's how you know he's a duck. And this is what's so funny about this whole situation, and they need to accept it. Canelo, in order for him to reestablish his namesake, he has to fight top competition moving forward. This is why I said Eddie Hearn has leverage. And there's levels to this European shit. There's levels to this white shit. I keep telling y'all, Eddie Hearn has the power leverage here because Canelo has lost. Notice what he said. Canelo's next fight is either going to be Gennady Golovkin or his next fight is going to be a rematch with Dimitri Bivol. I don't care about those fights. Nobody in the sport of boxing is asking and demanding for that shit. But at the same time, I believe that Eddie Hearn is doing what's called a smoke screen. He's giving you guys a similitude of what you guys think that you want to see and hear. But in actuality, he's going to pull the rug up under from Canelo. I'm going to tell you why. Dimitri Bivol is already talking about Undisputed against Arthur Beterbiev. You see? And I know Eddie Hearn, the promoter that he is, he's going to push to say, why would we do a rematch with Canelo, even though there's a clause when we have a higher situation for Dimitri Bivol to be undisputed at 175? Everybody knows in boxing, man, even with rematch clauses, nothing trumps unification bouts, and damn sure nothing trump no damn undisputed. And here's the argument that Bivol has here. This wasn't no close fucking fight. Bivol washed Canelo Alvarez. So Bivol could turn around and basically throw that rematch clause out the fucking water. He could have the argument and say, look, this was not a close fight. I beat this guy up badly. So there's no point for me to rematch this guy. We're going to go past him and we're going to go into a undisputed situation. So Canelo could try to activate rematch clause all the fuck he wants. And guess what? He hasn't even done that. You want to know why Canelo hasn't even thought to do that shit? Because Canelo knows this guy already washed me. Why would I want to go through that embarrassment 2 times over? So you know what Canelo's team and them looking at? Because they want to duck. They looking at Triple G. So you know what I think Eddie Hearn is doing? Eddie Hearn is playing the long game. Let me tell you what he's doing, Ross. He's setting Canelo up for Demetrius Andrade. But he don't want to throw that out too soon because he knows if he throws that bait out too soon for Canelo, Canelo can just basically try to walk away completely from the situation. So basically what he's saying is, well, we're going to make it seem like he's going to, have a fight with Gennady Golovkin, and this is what they're going to do behind the scenes. Eddie Hearn is going to have Gennady Golovkin take on another fucking fight. So then his fight date is going to be taken. So if his fight date is taken, guess what? Canelo can't fight him. He can no longer fight that motherfucker. And Dimitri Bivol is going for undisputed against Arthur Beterbiev. So guess what now Canelo's going to have to do? He's going to have no choice but to fight the other guy that Eddie Hearn is promoting. And guess who that is? Demetrius Andrade. So there's no fucking fight.
You gonna have to fight somebody. That's the thing. This is the reason I lose respect. Not for, and I have to differentiate the two. Cause I know people, have Mexican bar friends I drink with that's from Mexico. They don't think like Mexican Americans. Mexicans from Mexico that's from the land care about good boxing. They talk about Floyd more than anybody. It's Mexican Americans who bring race into boxing and shit. So I got to separate the two. Now, you motherfucking Mexican Americans, man, y'all got no loyalty. Soon as Canelo lost, and he was supposed to lose, I don't know why y'all thought something else was supposed to happen. Because you was fighting a real guy at 175 without no advantage. He was supposed to get washed. Soon as Canelo get washed, y'all boom and treat him like shit. Y'all ain't got no loyalty. Y'all disrespectful, man.
Yep.
Y'all ain't got no loyalty to this shit, man.
None.
They
didn't care about Canelo. They just cared about the fact that Canelo name was reverberating out there in the boxing world the way it was, and then they had nobody else. Because if you leave it to these Mexicans in a perfect world, they would have won Canelo there. They would have wanted Mikey Garcia there. They would have wanted Leo Santa Cruz. You got to understand, at one point, they had all of that going on. Then Gervonta Tank Davis showed up. Then Errol Spence showed up. And these names were no longer available. So now they had to lean all their hopes on Canelo Alvarez. And hence, this is why they became backdoor Terence Crawford fans. Because they didn't like the fact that Mikey Garcia, this has nothing to do with, they never was Terence Crawford fans. They didn't like the fact that their little Mikey got exposed. That's what it all is, man.
And it wasn't even a weight thing. It was just all boxing.
Yep.
He outboxed.
Yep.
He the same thing that Errol did to Mikey Garcia is what Bivol did to motherfucking Canelo. He didn't even use his size. He was just outboxing Canelo.
And he used
that's what made it worse. He watched Canelo 12 rounds.
He wore Canelo out with just combinations, man. This is how you know not only does Canelo fight in between spurts, this is how you also know Canelo Alvarez's stamina, which my platform, Ross's platform, has been saying this shit for years, is shit. Because when somebody hits you with a combination, if your conditioning and your stamina is on point, you should be countering. This motherfucker was hitting the ropes. Every time Bivol was hitting him with combinations, that means your stamina is shit and your countering is suspect as fuck. And he was getting hit in the face and the body with flush shots. Bivol was dominating this dude. And all Canelo was doing was that bullshit that he liked to do, those little lazy ass, or let me throw one hard body shot. Nah, that shit ain't gonna work on a guy like Bivol that's disciplined like that. That's gonna throw combinations. I told you guys to wear out Canelo, you got to be a pressure-filled fighter. That's why he don't want to fight Charlo. Because Charlo could go 15 rounds on that ass, man.
You got to think about it. Every time you see Canelo training for a fight, when you ever see him running?
Never running.
He don't never be running, man.
Nope.
This motherfucker don't want to fight. He don't never be running. He don't want to be on. He can't take an albuterol no more because they on his ass. Yep. He don't want to run, so he can't get that endurance up like he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize Canelo is smoking mirrors. He was never like that.
Yep.
He was never cold like that. He was always smoking mirrors. Yep. No fucking stamina.
Yep.
That's the reason why you can't be eating fucking chalupas and drinking Tecate when you off. Yep. You gotta keep a good diet.
Yep.
Nigga, no stamina whatsoever.
And this motherfucker Canelo, we saw it. See, they try to hold. This is how you know the boxing community, Ross, don't keep that same energy. When Spence had his moments where he was blowing up in between drinking, partying, and doing all that, they got on Spence. We see Canelo in the club drinking his ass off, partying his ass off, drunk as a skunk, and nobody's holding him accountable. Oh, he's Canelo. He could do what he wants. They double fucking standard. It's not even funny, man.
The crazy thing about it is Bivol didn't even win because he was big and strong. Bivol won because he was better.
Yep.
Bivol won because Canelo trash. He didn't even win because he was big.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that don't matter. If you win because you lost, you lost. So it wouldn't matter. But I watched the fight. Bivol didn't even use his size. Yep. He just beat the shit out of Canelo with pure boxing. Canelo was never that good at boxing.
Yep.
Canelo got hit with all the same punches he was getting hit against Floyd. Fucking what? 2013?
Yep. Just to switch gears.
That's down there 10 years ago.
Just to switch gears real quick, and I'm gonna let you run right back to that shit. Jermell Charlo got to get credit because there's been a few boxers that have given us, rematches. He's given us 2 hellified rematches, man, with Tony Harrison and now Brian Castano. This man's rematches have been epic. It hasn't been anything as a snooze fest. That shit has been eccentric. It's been electric. It's been, man, you might as well call him the most electrifying man in all of 154 entertainment, dog. That motherfucker is. I'm gonna say something. Melanated Bear 27. Ross predicted. Salute to you, Ox. I'm gonna tell you right now, Ross predicted this shit all years ago, and I'm gonna salute you, bro. You predicted this shit right with us all years ago too, because guess what? You was right there on those panels, man. You was right there on those lives, and we was all saying it. I'm gonna tell you how we all three said it. I said Canelo fights in spurts. Ross always told motherfuckers Canelo's stamina and his conditioning was shit. And Melanated Bear 27 said Canelo is a 60-second to 90-second fighter. Basically, we all said the same shit. We just spent it on our own levels. And we told y'all motherfuckers this shit. Y'all wouldn't fucking listen, man. Now look at what's going on. Canelo smoking mirrors. And this is what I was telling y'all when I said Spence could walk through Canelo. When I said that, that was a very controversial video. I got a lot of Mexicans getting mad at me. I said, I looked at Canelo like, it's the motherfucker stamina is shit. When you fighting against a fighter who has stamina, who could go 15 to 18 rounds, he'll beat the shit out of you. And the fighter can fight off of his back foot, and he can pivot, and you flat-footed as that? Please. Canelo fights in between rounds, man. The motherfucker is a dude. I'm going to tell you right now, that is smoke.
At the most, he fights half a round. At the most,
yes.
On average, he fights a minute.
And Canelo loves to do this flashy shit, right? He likes to throw flashy punches to make you think that he's doing something special. If you go look at the fight against Daniel Jacobs switched from fucking southpaw to orthodox. Me, Ross, looked at this shit. We wanted to kick the fucking TV screen. He landed an 8-punch combination on Canelo, exposed him. And you can hear Andre Rozier tell him, stay in that stance. You exposing Canelo. But we knew the cancer patient got paid. And it's a sad thing when you rehydration a guy who was a cancer patient. This is how we know Canelo ain't shit. This motherfucker just came back as a cancer survivor. You're going to rehydrate him. Not only that, you're going to turn around, and even when he gave one exploit, you're going to give him a look. I want y'all to see the look that Canelo gave. It was a political look. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You exposing me right now. I thought we paid you for you to be in a position to where I look good. I want y'all to go look at that look Canelo gave.
Right.
That's how fucked up boxing
it's almost
is,
like
man.
It's like he was shocked that he had got hit back.
Exactly.
That's what people don't realize, man. Like, bro, if you come from people that don't care about how you win, as long as you win, even if this fits, then you're going to hate the truth. And you're going to hate black people. Because we don't have that luxury, man. We got to get everything out the fucking mud.
Yep. Everything
must come out the mud. We don't got no people who just want to see us win because we not black.
Yep.
Everybody want to see us lose. We got to get it out the mud.
Yep. So we're going to get on him too. We're going to get on him too, Jordan 6-time Bishop. My bad, Ross. We're going to get on that motherfucker too.
So I'm sitting here looking at Canelo. Like, how is it you not the face of boxing? You got the black, you got the Mexican community behind you. Why you not selling more than Floyd? Because he's not fighting nobody, and the Mexican community not trying to pay for that shit. That's why he ain't selling more than Floyd. Y'all know he's ducking, but then y'all come to defend him.
Yep.
Then when he lose, he want to cry. He always an excuse. I was too young. Now what the fuck you gotta say now? I thought I won. How the fuck you think you win when you got beat up every round?
Exactly. And then you want to make a stupid ass excuse and say when the announcer said, if you knew you was down on the scoring card, would you have done anything? I'd be more aggressive. Shut the Some motherfuckers sometimes you just want to slap the shit out of them. So you then say, why weren't you aggressive the whole fucking fight? So you chose to say you're going to be more aggressive? Come on, man. You know your ass was losing. You just now trying to make I be more aggressive. I heard that motherfucker. I wanted to slap him through the damn TV screen. Like, man, dude,
be quiet, man. How the fuck you be more aggressive? You threw all the punches you could throw.
Exactly.
And you were getting countered.
Yep.
Every time he threw a combination, he was getting countered. Bivol was touching his ass.
Exactly.
And then Canelo, he done now resigned himself to looking like he got defense. He was doing all this shit right here, doing all this, and was getting hit.
And still getting hit.
Canelo was doing this shit like Floyd, and was getting punched in his head. Like, bro, quit doing that shit. Put your guard up. You not firing like that.
No, you're not. But he thought he was.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with Canelo, man. Canelo know at the end of the day, he's a great white hype. He knows that.
Exactly. Actually the greatest of the great white hacks. Here's the other thing, Ross, and this shit gonna make motherfuckers laugh. Canelo, and this is why I was trying to tell people, because I gotta switch gears a little bit. I love what LL Cool J did, man. See, you always gotta have an old school true alpha come up in this bitch and remind motherfuckers. Because they was asking him, this is how you know YouTube channels are fucking cheerleaders, man. I had to put that in my community post. I heard barbershop conversation. I heard all of them. I know how these motherfuckers talk. They were sitting there interviewing LL Cool J saying, LL, what'd you think about Jaron Ennis? You think he's on the level with Spence? And LL had to tell him there's levels. And them motherfuckers were like, what the fuck? He said there's levels. This is what LL said, dog. That shit was funny as fuck, Ross. He said it's like when Kobe Bryant shows up in the gym. Everybody know what time it is. Jaron Ennis is that up-and-coming basketball player. Errol Spence is Kobe fucking Bryant. What the fuck you think is going to happen? Salute to Rip B. Brazy. When Canelo lose now, he only speaks Spanish. That's funny as fuck.
Right. What happens to that broken English shit?
Yep.
He won payday. What happens to that?
Yep. His ass only knows Spanish. Yeah. But the trippy part about this, Ross, and it's funny as fuck, LL said it straight up. There's levels. He said when Kobe Bryant comes into the basketball court, everybody knows what's about to happen. So he had to teach those YouTubers. He had to slap those YouTubers upside the head, these so-called weird motherfuckers, and tell them, stop it. There's levels to this shit.
There's levels to this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That Canelo was talking about after he get undisputed. He just knew Boston was gonna just keep letting him rig shit. Mm-hmm. This nigga was talking about, and the only Mexicans believe in this shit. They could believe a nigga that started at 147 could go all the way to 175, get undisputed, and then go to cruiserweight and get undisputed. Y'all motherfuckers go to heavyweight and fight. What? Y'all believe all that shit real?
Yep.
You can't do that shit without no type of PEDs, bro.
Yep.
This motherfucker talking about he's gonna be Usyk would have ended that motherfucking career, man.
Yep.
He the guy that Usyk would have got carried out that motherfucker.
He would have got carried out that shit. And guess what? Because I'm switching gears with this shit real quick. Do you know that Jaron Ennis's manager? This shit about to make you laugh, Ross. His manager is Terence Crawford's manager. When I found out that shit, I was like, oh,
that's the reason why he don't.
That's why there's those guy fights. That's why there's paid to lose fights. This nigga has hit 2 people behind the head. Do you know in boxing when you hit somebody behind the head definitively like that, it's supposed to be a disqualification. Or you could damn near kill somebody hitting them behind the fucking head like that.
Or a 2-point deduction at least.
Yep. 2-point deduction comes first. And if you don't get the 2-point deduction, the way that he hit that motherfucker behind the head, they should have 2-point deduction him. And then when he did it the second time, they should have ended the fight. Both of his last 2 fights were the same way. But he knocked the motherfucker out. Come on, man. We saw Castillo Clayton get up and dap Jaron Ennis. That's a knockout. We didn't see your Dennis Ugas dap Errol Spence. Your Dennis Ugas was too busy trying to leave to go to the hospital because his eye was fucked up. So I didn't know when you knock somebody out, all of a sudden they want to dap you. This is what I'm trying to tell you when I say hype job. And here's the worst part about it, Ross. Did you see all of these men that were groupies looking at spit? I mean, when did men become fucking groupies? I thought groupies was just a identity for fucking women. What is today's masculinity become, man? It's like it's become shit.
Are women. They're women. They're chicks with dicks. They're chicks with dicks, man.
Ooh, shit.
Most men nowadays are chicks with dicks. Emotional as fuck. The only thing that makes them a man is they have a penis. Everything else is all feminine, bro.
Yep.
Like, bro, that's it, man. Me personally, people, every time somebody bring up Bruce Ennis, it irritates me because Bruce Ennis ain't did shit. Why you talking about Bruce Ennis and Errol Spence in the same sentence?
Yep.
Bruce Ennis won't even fight his peer. His peer is Virgil Ortiz.
Yep.
You got to
that's what I was saying. Wearing that hot ass fucking pink too. Man, that's why when I told motherfuckers that Boots painted his hair pink, here's something about that pink color, man. That motherfucker's infatuated with hot fucking pink. Flamboyant as shit. And you think you gonna fight a Spence? Man, you ain't ready, man. You ain't ready.
Yeah, man. Like, bro,
Oh
like,
shit.
you gotta work on beating your peers first. Then you
Yep.
and I just don't understand it because you got the LDBC promoting the fight too. They
Yep.
always talk about boots. I don't know. I don't know if Spence ready for boots.
Yep.
Like, bro, Spence is on a trajectory to undisputed. Why the fuck y'all bringing up boots?
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as Errol Spence stopped boots, oh, he wasn't ready.
Exactly.
This shit, man, it's irritating, man.
Yep. And here's the thing:
it's like it's no respect for the black fighter. You got one black fighter that's 3-belt unified, damn near undisputed. It would have been undisputed 20 years ago. 30 years ago, he'd have been undisputed because it was only 3 belts.
Yep.
You compare him to a guy that has done absolutely nothing in the sport.
Yep.
Boots ain't did nothing in the sport yet. He don't got that one title.
Nothing. None. And I'm digressing to what Ross is saying because that's the same point that I was gonna make. But I'm gonna make another fucking point on top of that. Y'all sit here and y'all have people constantly G-checking y'all when we know damn well this motherfucker ducked Blair Cobbs. He had an opportune situation. Me and Ross are the only two that said this. He had an opportune situation to say, look, I beat up Blair Cobbs for you because he was talking shit. That was a perfect moment. If he was smart, that would have been a perfect moment to catapult his career from a business standpoint, to beat up the guy that was talking shit about Spence. Blair Cobbs ends up getting the Spence curse because we know that shit exists just like the Mayweather curse. And then it's another guy that ends up getting the credit. But yet he fights Castillo Clayton, a guy that was there to be laid the fuck down. We could tell this guy took the pay to lose nosedive from the time the ring began, because this motherfucker came in the worst, most awkward high guard I've ever seen. How you in the high guard, but you getting hit? A motherfucker right. No damn high guard. Fuck?
You in the high guard that's open as a motherfucker. You just steady getting touched.
Exactly.
Right. I turned away from that fight so fucking quick. I said, man, where did this dude come from?
Ooh, shit. That motherfucker is the black Canelo Alvarez, man. But now we know he has the same manager as Terence Crawford. And then I had Fat Albert sent me a fucking comment. And Fat Albert was like, you know, why you hating on, guys that are from B-More and guys that are from, these areas, Philly and all that. Hey, I fuck with Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis from B-More. What the fuck you talking about? You sound stupid. You sound dodo-headish. If a guy is a real fighter and he's doing what he's supposed to, I'm going to rock with him. But when I see that the fighter is a hype job, he's smoking mirrors, I'm going to call that shit out too. I always run away from hype jobs, man. Because I know it, Ross knows it, and anybody with a fucking brain knows it. Hype jobs always get exposed. Whether they get exposed today or they get exposed tomorrow or 10 years down the road. Canelo Alvarez, his shit came, 15 years later? They get fucking exposed, man.
I'm going to be honest. Maybe Boots can beat Bud Crawford, but let's keep it a buck. I'm not going to be biased just because I think Bud's smoking mirrors. Mm-hmm. Boots ain't even did nothing to convince me he could beat Bud. Boots need to win real fights and worry about being a man when Bud and Errol Spence is gone.
This is how you know me and
he
Ross
don't deserve those fights. He don't deserve those fights.
Mm-hmm.
He has done nothing to deserve those fights. He's done nothing to call out a Bud or definitely an Errol Spence.
Yep.
He needs to make his bones.
Yep.
He need to make his bones.
This is how you know me and Ross got the same blood.
If he could beat him, it don't even matter. Because he need to beat the people he need to beat.
This is how you know me and Ross got the same blood in our veins, because I said the same shit. As much as I get on Terence Crawford has earned his weight. He's earned his due. Terence Crawford deserves to be where he's at. Not on Spence's level, of course, but when we're talking about the trajectories and the pay grades, you shouldn't be talking about Jaron Ennis, man. Boxing fans are so disrespectful. Spence and Crawford is a different trajectory. It's a different pay grade. It's undisputed. We're talking about an unproven prospect. You guys are so lazy as boxing fans, just like these new boxers. Y'all don't want them to work their way up. What about Virgil Ortiz? Like, get past these motherfuckers, man.
Work your way up.
Damn.
Also, while you at it, donate to fucking motivate.
Donate to motivate. They don't want these motherfuckers to get past their own competition. It's ridiculous, man.
Here's the thing. Bud ain't done much either, but he done more than Boots.
Exactly.
And Boots needs to fight. He need to fight more people around his caliber.
Yep.
He don't need to be fighting Bud. Bud on a trajectory for an undisputed fight. That's the reason why we don't have undisputed fights right now, because always some dude want to get into the mix. Like, bro, you late. Wait till the undisputed shit over, then fight the winner.
And then stupid ass YouTube channels
fight you.
Try to promote this shit because we know boxing is promoted by YouTube. YouTube is the biggest outlet for boxing, and it affects shit. And you got all these dumbass fucking YouTube channels that want to sit here and bring up, oh, well, Boost. No, have Boost fight Virgil Ortiz. We had one boxing channel in Champside, and Ross had to get on his ass, and I had to get on his ass about some shit about, well, we need to stop telling Boots that he needs to not wait anymore for Terence Crawford and Spence. Why y'all pushing Boots away from Terence Crawford? Man, I ripped his ass to fucking shreds over that dumb shit. He ain't ready. He don't belong on that fucking trajectory. What the fuck you talking about? These motherfuckers always pushing some bullshit.
And then be like, I wonder why such never got undisputed. Maybe they would have got undisputed. If people want to push them to fight other motherfuckers, gotta understand. And Boots, this is how it should go. If Boots really want to get in the mix, and he want to avoid all the shit, well, he should be trying to work his way out to everybody else. But if you really want to get in the mix, you definitely don't fight. You definitely don't call out Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing.
Nothing.
You try to get on Bud Crawford nerve and try to see if Bud Crawford will fold, and you fight and beat Crawford and put yourself in undisputed.
Yep.
That's how I know he just called out Errol Spence for publicity.
But like you said, Ross, he don't even deserve Bud. Like you gotta have a fight in between Bud to at least even be in reckoning to try to do it. But like Keith Thurman, fight Keith Thurman, man. What the fuck you talking about, Bud? Or fucking, because the reason why I say Keith Thurman is semi-fucking active. And his ass ain't got shit. So he's a perfect, what they call the motherfuckers, that's in between, gatekeeper. There you go. He's a fucking gatekeeper. Fight a fucking gatekeeper and let's see what you can do with a gatekeeper.
I said, all these motherfuckers he can fight, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's all cap.
Yep.
He calling out Errol Spence because Errol Spence is the big, believe it or not, Errol Spence is the big fish at 147. He the big name.
Yeah. Yep.
So he call out Errol Spence. Just to be saying, he don't want to fight no fucking Errol Spence, man.
Yep.
He'll take the payday, but that ain't what he want for his career. That's an easy wash. Spence walk right through it. He'll walk right through, dude.
Yep.
Buddy, everything he does is too wide.
Yep.
That's too wide. Spence is too fundamental to lose to him.
Yep. Me and Ross already seen all the mistakes Boots make. And if that fight ever happened and Spence say, you know what, I want another Mikey Garcia moment, y'all need to watch our breakdowns on how and Tom Ross tell y'all all the deficiencies that Boots is gonna have in that fucking fight. We're gonna break that shit down because we already know how Spence is gonna wallop his ass on the inside, man. It ain't gonna be funny. He gonna wear that boy out because that boy don't got no inside game. He fights too fucking wide and he throws rapid punches. That's perfect tailor-made for Spence. Spence will eat that shit up all day. All fucking day.
Salute to Von P. King for being able to see this shit. He said Bud Crawford lowball Danny Garcia to duck him and overpaid Amir Khan $7 million.
Yep.
That's what people don't understand, man. He ain't want no problems with Danny Garcia because he know it only takes one shot from Danny Garcia to change everything.
Yep.
He don't got that chin. He chin.
That's it.
Well, I realize Spence, don't be surprised if Spence stopped Bud early. I'm talking about 6, 7
Man,
rounds.
that shit gonna be brutalizing, dog. That's why we call it the brutalizing devastation of utter motherfucking destruction, man. Listen, I'm gonna be at the fight. Me and Ross gonna do this unique shit. I'm gonna be at the fight. I don't know. Ross might be there too. If he's there, we're gonna do that shit together. But if he's not, wherever Ross is at and wherever I'm at the fight, we going live right the fuck then and there. I don't care if I have to give somebody a little money on the side and for them to just say, you know what, you can be live for the fight breakdown. We gonna be motherfucking live. We gonna talk about this shit.
I think they can't stop you from being live if you looking at your camera. I think you can't turn your camera and watch the fight.
Yep.
But if you looking at your own camera, I don't think they can stop you from being live.
Oh hell yeah, we gonna be live watching this motherfucking fight, and we gonna talk shit. And what y'all gonna see is y'all gonna see me laughing every fucking round while Ross is the one breaking the shit down. I'm gonna be laughing every round, and I'm gonna be telling y'all, look, Spence got him hurt. Spence got him hurt. Spence got him on the ropes. Spence got him on the ropes.
If people not understanding, here's the problem. Every time, and we got this bad in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as there's a gap, a vacuum, we try to fill that vacuum with somebody whom we think is just like the other person.
Exactly. Because
Spence wasn't a back foot fighter. Spence is all forward foot for the most part. We said, oh, Spence ain't like, believe it or not, Spence is more like Floyd than anybody right now.
Exactly.
They don't fight the same, but as far as their drive and how their hard work and their dedication, he more like
fundamentals and the technique.
But guess what? People automatically threw Bud in there. He dark skinned like he's dark skinned like Mayweather. He little, he flat. Like what y'all realize is Bud ain't tough like Mayweather,
and he don't have the defense like Mayweather.
That
motherfucker get hit too much.
He ain't tough, man. You gotta be tough to be Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Because if Bud was tough,
guess what Bud would have did? When he couldn't fight Errol Spence, he wouldn't have fought no bum ass niggas. He would have won to 154 and whoop one of them niggas like Floyd used to do.
Yep.
Like Floyd used to do. But guess what? He ain't like that. So he went and fought bum ass niggas at 147, wasting time.
Yep.
But listen, man, Bud was never built to be Errol Spence. It's in the cards. It's over with. After Errol Spence, his career is going to be over with. He's not going to be the same.
And you know what else is interesting when you mention Mayweather's tough? Because I want to talk about that. That Zab Judah fight showcased Mayweather's toughness like nobody's business. Do you know two big things happened and Floyd showed his level of concentration? One, he got fucking hit in the nutsack so fucking hard by Zab Judah, not once, but two different times. And he had to, like, one of those moments, he almost had to fucking kneel. That's how hard this shit was. And then on top of that, that fight that broke out between his father and his uncle. Do you know how much stoppage there was in between rounds? Do you know how much interlude took place? But Floyd gathered his mental faculties and closed out Zab Judah the rest of the fight. Most fighters would have been so distraught by all of those interruptions and distractions, they wouldn't have closed out the fight. They would have just basically went back and tried to box. No, Floyd still had the eye of the tiger. He still had the killer instinct, and he closed the show and washed Zab Judah. That right there was the fight that showed me his mental fortitude, man, because there was too much shit going on. It got to the point where everybody came in the fucking ring. You remember that shit when his dad and the uncle? That was more than enough to put a fucking halt off of your fighting drive. But Floyd was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to regain all my mental fortitude and I'm going to take it out on Zab Judah and close the fucking show on his ass. Laser fucking focus, like OG Flash said. That was impressive. That shit was definitely done tough.
Impressive, exactly. And Bud not built that way, man. Here's another thing somebody just brought up in the chat. Bud Crawford used to get the shit beat out of him by Ugas.
Yep. Twice. In the amateurs, man. Ugas washed him. That's why Ugas wanted to fight. Ugas wanted to fight Bud before he fought.
Bud don't want no real smoke, man. Why you think Bud didn't come to PBC for one reason? Everybody that they had an opportunity, they would have had the ability to beat Bud. All the real people at 147 was at PBC. That's why Bud took his ass across the street.
Yep.
That's what y'all not understanding. Bud ain't shit, bro.
Yep.
Compared to Errol Spence, Bud good. Bud good. Compared to Errol Spence, Bud ain't shit, man.
Yep.
He trash, man.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. You know what video offended me, Ross? that video where they had Bud fight this bullshit ass wrestler. I already saw the weakness in what Bud was doing. I was like, I wish that was me. Bud had his legs exposed the whole fucking time. I like how this motherfucker ain't just basically doing a quick lateral burst movement around, grab Bud by the fucking leg, fold his ass like a pretzel. Bud was so high off the ground, man. I was shaking my head, dog, when I saw that shit. I was like, please let that shit would have been me. Please. I would have been on a fucking highlight reel, viral as fuck. I would have had this up in the air, suplex the fuck up, and had his ass folding, crying. And then this dude want to sit there. I honestly believe that was one of those things where the wrestler was paid to make Bud look good. And you know, Spence had that video where Spence already did the shadow boxing with the slap boxing with that fat dude. So Bud needed to have his little moment. I think that's what it was. That shit was making me laugh. I was like, come on, man. This shit was funny as fuck. Like, Bud ain't nice like that on no damn mat. Come on, man. It took him like 100 years just to get the motherfucker down.
The Spence shit was an organic thing that happened.
Yep.
Shit that niggas do in the hood. The Bud had to go to their studios, find a nigga that's gonna take time out of his schedule to sit and roll around with him, and none of that don't mean shit.
Yep.
What did that mean? What that mean? So what that mean? You strong now?
Yep.
What they gotta do with your punch resistance?
Exactly.
What the fuck they gotta do with your boxing skill?
And then they showed another video where he did some kick like he was fucking Bruce Lee. Man, I started laughing. I like, is Bud doing this to try to psych his mind out on what's about to fuck to happen? That he's gonna get bull fucking dozed, he's gonna get steamrolled, he's gonna get plowed through. So he's trying to psych his mind out and use other sports. This is boxing, man. None of that shit counts. You can't go up in there and throw no damn high kick. You can't go up in there and basically pay a wrestler to make you look good, like you could pin him down. No. Well, this is what you say from round one. I'm punishing your ass.
I'm still holding on to this shit, man. I would be surprised if Bud tried to avoid this fight and try to duck, and if they don't have to strip Bud. I would be surprised if Bud don't wait till the very last minute. I'm talking about purse bid. I'm talking. Yep. Bud went to a purse bid to fight fucking Sean Porter. Yeah, he was afraid of that fight.
Yep.
It wasn't so they could rig that shit that Bud took the fight.
Yep.
He was afraid of that fight. Whenever you go to a purse bid with somebody you talk to every day, this your friend, y'all can handle this shit over the phone. You go to the purse bid, you don't want that fight, man.
Facts.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bud ducked this fight. Don't be surprised this fight never happened.
Man, check this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's true. I saw that video too. I don't know if you saw that shit, Ross, but this is speaking to your point. So I'm saluting Ross because Ross said this shit. And when I saw that recent video, I thought of Tom Ross, man. I just heard Bob said Dud never asked for ESJ fight. Never asked Bob to call Al. Smoking fucking mirrors. Facts. Bob Arum outed Bud Crawford, man. He outed him because Bud think that he got leverage. You ain't got leverage over shit. You sitting here running your mouth, making it seem like you playing all of the cards when we know damn well your whole career was manufactured by Bob Arum. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Y'all need to show me where there is legal paperwork that says that Bud is no longer with Top Rank. I don't believe that shit. I do not believe it. I believe Bob Arum is playing what's called the invisible promoter because Bob Arum still wants to make the money on the side, and he knows that if he's not basically forward in the negotiations, this fight is easier to be made. And I think that's what's been happening. When Bob Arum was showing his face, talking shit about Al Haymon, I believe behind closed doors, Al Haymon basically G-checked them like, yo, to make this fight happen, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to be behind the scenes because you running your mouth is not going to push this fight forward. And look what's been happening. The fight has been pushed forward. I hear Ross. Ross is talking about purse bid. Bud is not going to be, it potentially can get itself out of this fight. I'm going to tell you something, Ross. The way the landscape of this sport of boxing is going right now, and the way that, you know, you see all of these heavy lifting fights happening, this shit is going to happen because a lot of people are due to profit at the powers that be money-wise. So they don't give a fuck if Bud don't want to fight. if they gotta drag his ass to that fucking fight, they gonna drag his ass. There's too much money.
I mean, if he dead set on not fighting, can't nobody make him fight. But what they can do is make his life hell after that.
Yep.
They can make it hell after that. He'll never get another big fight. It'll be a problem. He'll get robbed. It'll be a lot of shit going on because he robbed boxing.
His ass will lose all his money. He's gonna be like one of these broke fighters.
but guess what? Bud dumb enough to do that. Bud has done.
You are right about that. You are right about.
He has done nothing but make stupid decisions from the time he's been a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
What black man volunteers to go fight for top rank with their history? Who does that?
Yep.
So man.
Spence needs that beat down so bad, man. You know, and you're right. I mean, what you're saying is possible. It's a possibility, and it could be a possible reality because we like to call things down the line here. We're not going to be biased on one end or the other, and we're going to be honest. What Ross is saying is a real possibility in happening. I would just love the other possibility to happen because we've been dealing with so many years of this Bud shit, Bud Light, smoke and mirrors, barking, confrontation, doing stupid ass stanky legs. It's time for Terence Crawford to get whooped. And then this disrespect for Terence Crawford to be number one pound for pound. Come on, Ross. The level of disrespect with that, the motherfucker has to get beat down, man. And ESPN, they're looking really bad out here in these boxing streets in terms of their credibility. Because every time they revise their pound for pound list, they put the worst person that you could put on the fucking pound for pound list at number one. They did this. They tried their best
to put at least amount of black people on the pound for pound list as possible.
Yeah. When I saw Chocolate Ito, I was like, I don't know how to say his fucking name.
Chocolate Tito. He ain't even fighting nobody.
This motherfucker ain't fought no motherfucker. And how the fuck is he in your top 10 pound for pound list? This is so disrespectful. Your top 10 pound for pound list, it has to have Errol Spence there. Jermell Charlo got to be there. Tank got to be there. I ain't mad if you put Usyk. I ain't mad if you put Usyk in. These are the only two white boys that I want to see on that list. I ain't mad if you put Usyk and Kambosos on that shit. Everybody else.
Whenever I see a list that got Triple G on it, I know it's bullshit. Who is Triple G fought, man? Triple G ain't fought nobody since Canelo.
I ain't mad with Usyk. I ain't mad with Kambosos because them motherfuckers got belts. And over here, we call that shit down the line, like Ross said earlier. So those motherfuckers need to be on the list. But outside of that, and Tyson Fury too. Outside of that, man, the other 7 motherfuckers need to look like me and Ross. That I'm just being honest. That's what the list should look like. It's damn near disrespectful, man.
One thing I realized about anything that's documented, they document it in a way because they don't want it to go down. They don't want to show inferiority. The reason why history is documented the way it's documented is because they told the truth, it will show them as inferior.
Yep.
Science, if they told the truth about science, it will show them as inferior. So they document in a way that slants towards them. You get all these dumbass lists that don't make no sense. Yep. And all of a sudden, you seeing white guys on the list that ain't fought nobody, and if it ain't white, it got to be the closest thing to white because they don't want to show inferiority.
Yep.
It's not about the truth because Triple G would not be on anybody's top 5 list at all. Yep. But Crawford would not be on the list. Who he beat? What Bud Crawford did at 147? You got somebody
that don't deserve to be on no fucking list, man. Lomachenko don't deserve to be on no fucking list. It's disrespectful.
You can't be a number 1 pound for pound fighter. You're not the number 1 fighter in your own division.
Facts.
That don't even make no sense.
It don't make sense. And if you're talking welterweight, Spence got to be number 1. He's the number 1 welterweight. Like it just don't make sense that you want to put Terence Crawford over Errol Spence, and Terence Crawford at that has been fighting Errol Spence leftovers. I mean, this is disrespectful. And then now Jermell Charlo has won Undisputed. Like I said, I ain't mad if you put Mel at number 1 because he's undisputed. I ain't mad about that shit. Y'all motherfuckers know how I feel about Spence, but I ain't mad because I'm gonna be fair. But that damn 1 and 2 need to be Spence and Charlo or Charlo and Spence. It shouldn't be any other way. You could interchange that shit. And then you can go down the line. Shakur Stevenson needs to be in your top 10 because Shakur Stevenson just took 2 fucking belts, one from Jermell Charlo and then one from Oscar Valdez. I mean, come on. Like, are they paying attention to what the fuck is going on? It's like they're not paying attention to the landscape and they're just picking whoever they want to pick. Naoya Inoue. What has Naoya Inoue done better than Shakur Stevenson at this point?
Nobody.
Come on.
Who is he fought? Nobody don't even know who he is.
Exactly.
I don't know who you fought. Inoue ain't shit. It ain't like he can move up a big Tank. Who can he beat? Who can he beat that match? Can he beat Tank? Can he beat Haney? Can he beat Riggin? Can he beat these guys? No.
Can he beat fucking Stevenson? No.
No. So why the fuck we gonna talk about him, man? He ain't fighting nobody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you know what?
They went all the way to Japan to find some niggas to put in front of black niggas.
Exactly. That's how disrespectful they are. And you know what the thing is, Ross? Rigondeaux, when he was on the pound for pound list, this is how disrespectful they are. They told Rigondeaux that, guess what? You lost when he lost to Lomachenko, and they quickly removed them off. You got all of these other motherfuckers that ain't black, they lose, and they find a way to stay. How's Canelo still on the list? I don't understand this shit.
How Lomachenko on the list? He's still on the list.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about he know this shit is even after he lost. After he lost, he went one thing down. Like, bro, you just got no, man. You can't still be on the list like that.
Yep. It's ridiculous, man. It's fucking ridiculous the way that they've disrespected. And you know why Derrick James deserves to be trainer of the year? Outside of Spence and Charlo, guess what, Ross? He had another fighter in Frank Martin on one of the undercards wash a Mexican fighter too. So he got 3 guys. And that dude got a belt. He got 3 guys killing the fucking game. I mean, it's crazy. Frank Martin washed somebody else. So Derrick James, I'm going to tell you right now, Derrick James don't get trainer of the year. I'm going to go on boycott. I ain't going to watch. I'm going to go to first quarter and I'm not going to watch no boxing matches. I'm serious. I'm going to go to first quarter. I'm not watching no boxing matches just out of respect.
What? That hurt PBC fighters.
Yep.
You can't hurt the PBC fighters. You got to hurt everybody else. You can't. You know
what I mean, I'm a cover PBC fights.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction on that. I'm a cover PBC fights. But I'm just going to go to first quarter. I ain't dealing with no other bullshit when it comes to the sport of boxing, man, because this is ridiculous. Derrick James deserves trainer of the year this year, and he deserves trainer of the year next year, man. Like, it should just be back to back. Right. Like, let's not even disrespect, man. The guy has an undisputed fighter. He has a 3-belt fighter, and he has a younger guy that's in the small ranks. That's a fucking champion that just washed a Mexican fighter. I mean, what more do you need? And then guess what? Eddie Reynoso got exposed. They gave him trainer of the year, and look what ended up happening. His Oscar Valdez got done up. His Canelo Alvarez got done up. Andy Ruiz has damn near outed him and said, Eddie Reynoso is not the trainer that everybody thinks that he is. Ryan Garcia left him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man.
He's trash. All Eddie Reynoso working on is power.
Yep.
He just had niggas throwing power shots all day.
Yep.
Like, bro, as soon as the motherfucker lasts more than 6 rounds, your fighter toast.
That's it. No stamina.
At 5-6 rounds, Valdez quit. 5-6 rounds, Canelo quit. Every fight. Yep. You niggas trash.
And the only reason why Ryan Garcia lasts past 6 rounds is because if you notice, after 6 rounds, Ryan Garcia goes back to his old way of just boxing off of his feet. He don't do that power shit the whole fight. He even outed Eddie Reynoso and them and said, man, they were trying to make me, an elusive fighter, be stationary. Shit. I was laughing when he said that shit. Because I'm going to tell you, I ain't the biggest Ryan Garcia fan, but I love the truth telling that Ryan Garcia was saying about the Reynoso camp. Because he outed them when Canelo was trying to tell him, you need to be a warrior. And then he told Canelo, so if that's the case, why aren't you fighting all of these fights that everybody keeps saying that you ducking?
Right.
Man, he outed them. Isn't there irony in that? Canelo is slick. Canelo told Oscar Valdez, if you don't fight Shakur Stevenson, you're a duck.
Right, because
he wanted to call a motherfucker a duck.
He wanted Valdez to lose in front of the Mexican people first because he thought that was going to lessen the blow. Like, nah, motherfucker, they still at your head.
Exactly. I mean, it's just ridiculous. No, honorable mentions ain't no fucking Naoya, Nui, and Roman, because this is the problem with boxing fans.
No
those motherfuckers don't belong on that list. Period.
It's a top 5. If you don't make it, you just don't make it. Ain't no honorable mentions, man.
No fucking honorable mentions. There's top 10. We don't give you moral. There's no fucking moral victory. That's what honorable mention is. It's either you are or you fucking aren't.
Straight up.
My top 10 is Spence.
I'll do a top 10. Because let's be honest. If you don't make the top 5, should we be talking about you, man?
Exactly. That's a great fucking point.
Think about it.
That's
if you got 10 bitches, you got 10 bitches you fucking, you only think about the top 5.
Exactly.
You don't think about all the bitches. You think about the top 5.
Yep. You're right about that.
People make the list longer just so they can see one familiar face that they like. Like, no, man, that ain't how it go, man.
But if I'm gonna construct the 10, I'm gonna have Spence 1, I'm gonna have Mel 2, I'm gonna fuck around, have Jermell 3, I'm gonna have. I love Gervonta Tank Davis, but because Shakur just did something impactful, I'm gonna have Usyk 4. I'm gonna have Kambosos 5. See, we call that shit down the line. Get them 2 white boys that. Then I'm gonna have Shakur Stevenson at 6. I'm gonna have Gervonta Tank Davis at 7. Tyson Fury. The reason why I have him way down the line is because Tyson Fury did a lot of cheating, so he's gonna be in my top 10. He's gonna be 8, and then I'm gonna round out 9 and 10. I'm gonna give Deontay Wilder 9. And the reason why I put Deontay Wilder in the top 10 is because Deontay Wilder still fought heavyweight lifting fights. If y'all motherfuckers sit here and do this shit where y'all do this, these white boys always go, yeah, they were in big fights, so we keep them in the top 10. No, we got to do it with our own people. Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz back-to-back. He fought Tyson Fury back-to-back. He deserves that top 10, man. I'm sorry. So I'm going to have his ass at number 9.
And y'all already know me. If you ever use PEDs, you can't even be on my shit.
Period. Exactly.
This shit over with. But
exactly.
Yeah, man.
And then 10 could be a fucking toss up, whatever the fuck y'all, whoever y'all want to plug in, y'all can plug the motherfucker in. I don't care. Y'all give it to Devin Haney. I don't care. But that's how I'm around the shit off. That's my top 10. You see, we give credit. We threw 3 white boys in there like we supposed to, but it's rounded off and it's dominated by black fighters. Why? Because they're the ones that's killing the sport. They're killing the game. Let's just be honest, man. Anything else you got to say, Ross?
No, I'm through, man.
All right, man. This live has been real. You know, we was expecting more donation for motivation, but y'all ain't continuously donating, man. That's how y'all keep these lives going. If we saw the cash apps, we saw the super chats coming in like crazy, we'd have kept this shit going, man, forever, man. This shit probably would have rolled 5 hours. If y'all kept doing it every 5 minutes, bomb, donate, bomb, motivate. But we got what we got. It's been real. Y'all have a great Sunday. Y'all take care. Peace.